Takeaways from the Bears press conferences. 2 days ago, Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus, and Kevin Warren spoke to the media for nearly 2 hours. I know that most of you probably already watched the press conference, but I watched it 5 times for you guys, took notes, and I want to quickly go over the biggest topics from the presser. Also, for those who haven't watched it for themselves, I'm going to put as much information as I can from those 2 hours and give you the juiciest bits and pieces in just a few minutes. Let's get right into it. The first topic was the #1 pick of the NFL draft. Ryan Poles said he's excited about the opportunity, but he indicated that right now he will take his decision until right up until the draft. That means he's in no hurry to trade the pick early. He's not looking to add a player this year with the pick, and if teams interested, they need to blow him away with an offer for him to consider it. It's clear that Ryan Poles, Matt Eberflus, and Kevin Warren all realize how special it is not just having the #1 overall pick, but having 2 top 10 picks in this year's draft. These guys are excited about the opportunity at hand. Ryan Poles also spoke about how unique of an opportunity it is for potential offensive coordinators. Justin Fields is an exciting player to work with, even if he hasn't figured it all out yet, but potential OCs will be asked what their plan is not only for Justin Fields, but also for some of the rookie QBs like Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels. Poles has said it's very important that the guy they hire is versatile and able to adapt with whoever his QB is. You have to be able to work to your quarterback's strengths. This should be music to all of our fan base's ears. Poles has taken everything into account here, and he will weigh all trade down options. It also sounds like the search for a new offensive coordinator will not go quickly. I expect it to take at least a couple of weeks, and it could potentially extend into Senior Bowl week. The Bears have already requested to interview Seahawks offensive coordinator Shane Waldron and 49ers passing game specialist Clint Kubiak. Next up, Poles spoke about moving forward with Matt Eberflus. Ryan Poles believes in Coach Eberflus. He saw firsthand how well he kept the locker room together throughout all the turmoil this year. He was not happy with the overall results, but he spoke about the progress we made from last year and how we will continue to add to this foundation. Poles also spoke about the player interviews, and I believe the players in the locker room voiced a ton of support for both Coach Eberflus and quarterback Justin Fields. I feel like a lot of the blame was placed on Luke Getsy and the offensive staff. But Eberflus continued talking about the foundation of the team and the young talent on the roster. He talked about how many of Ryan Poles' draft picks have become foundational building blocks already. He specifically named Jaquan Brisker, Kyler Gordon, Braxton Jones, Jack Sanborn, Darnell Wright, Gervon Dexter, Zach Pickens, Tyreek Stevenson, and Terrell Smith. He also named some free agents Poles has brought in, like Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards, and how Poles continued to add with trades for guys like DJ Moore and Montez Sweat. Matt Eberflus, like I do, really believes in the core foundation of this roster and the young talent that Ryan Poles has brought in. I think Ryan and Matt's working relationship and how this roster views Coach Eberflus is a big reason why he is still here. Kevin Warren added to that point. He said you have to realize when not to pull the plug too early. He spoke about going to a Super Bowl with a new offensive coordinator before and giving guys that are doing it right more time. He is a well-versed football mind, and I love hearing his opinions as well. Moving on to the next topic, it was Justin Fields and his 5th-year option. Poles said he's in no rush to decide on that, and the Bears have until May, and it's very possible they wait until after the draft to make that decision. Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus both acknowledged they were proud of Justin Fields and commented on his progress and leadership throughout the locker room. Poles also spoke about leaving no stone unturned this offseason and how they are in information gathering mode and will make a sound decision. Whatever is best for the Bears, Ryan Poles said they will try to do. That is with not only Justin Fields, but also free agency and the upcoming NFL draft. Eberflus did seem to make kind of a Freudian slip. Eberflus may have made a Freudian slip, though, when he said Justin will continue getting better as we get better. Maybe a hint that he is sticking around, but honestly, I expect these guys to still do their due diligence. Having the #1 pick is a rare opportunity, and Ryan Poles is in no hurry to trade the pick. although I believe his phone lines will be open for the next 3+ months. Ryan Poles also spoke about his support from above with Kevin Warren and the McCaskey family. Ryan Poles admitted that he's made some mistakes, specifically missing on the Chase Claypool trade. He didn't mention Claypool by name, but discussed how disappointed he was in that trade and that he discussed it with Kevin Warren. Kevin Warren told him to keep taking his shots, that they believe in Ryan Poles as a decision maker, to just keep fine-tuning his process, but overall, this organization believes in Ryan Poles. Kevin Warren said so himself. He said, "How often do you see a general manager add two difference makers like DJ Moore and Montez Sweat in the same offseason?" And that is without even commenting on this stellar rookie class that Poles drafted, as well as the extra draft capital and cap space that Poles has also landed for the Chicago Bears franchise. I've been saying it all along. I believe in Ryan Poles, and I've always had the utmost faith in his decision-making process. It's good to see that Kevin Warren and the Bears front office see it the same way. The next topic was about offensive coordinator. Matt Eberflus spoke about bringing in someone who can innovate this offense. And then Ryan Poles spoke about how they have to be versatile and able to get the most out of their talent, especially at the quarterback position. It sounded very much like they blamed Luke Getsy for not adapting his scheme to Justin Fields' skill set. This makes it seem like they're going to place a heavy emphasis on finding a coordinator that will get the most out of not only Justin Fields, but any potential quarterback they draft as well. They mentioned that this is a hot job and that their phones have been ringing off the hook. I don't know if that's true, but if it is, it points to what we all saw. Luke Getsy was in over his head. If other smart offensive coaches around the league saw the same thing, why wouldn't they want a chance to fix this offense? Especially when we have 2 first-round picks and a ton of flexibility to improve the roster even more. I've been saying it for 2 years now about how excited I am about this team's future, and it's only gotten a lot brighter since I started this channel. Why wouldn't a good offensive coach want to come here? People say because Matt Eberflus is a lame duck head coach and could get fired next year, but I tend to disagree. I think unless we implode next year, Eberflus is relatively safe. Everyone spoke repeatedly about the Bears as a team on the rise, and I have to agree. As long as Ryan Poles continues making smart decisions, this offseason could set the Bears up to be competitive for the next decade or longer. They have a strong foundation and an ascending young roster. The search for a new offensive coordinator will be extensive, and Ryan Poles is going to leave no stone unturned. There's been no decision made on Justin's 5th-year option yet, but the Bears will be players in free agency again. And then as far as Jalen Johnson, Ryan Poles said it himself. He is not going anywhere. If a long-term contract is not agreed upon, he will at least be franchise tagged, but Jalen Johnson will be a Bear in 2024. And like I said, this offseason coming up is huge. This could end up being even more important than last offseason, which was one of the most important in Bears franchise history. This offseason could set this team up for sustained success. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Please remember to hit that like button for me, and until next time, bear down.